we'll start with Lee. Lee from the Hob. What do you think about the casting news today that Peeta will be played by Josh Hutcherson and Liam Hemsworth will be Gale?
Well, I think that there's a lot of passion out there about how people feel from a very personal level. I have to trust that Gary Ross, who has done such amazing work, and the professionals who cast the film really saw something very special when they cast these two gentlemen in the roles, respectively. And I have to trust that, from an aesthetic and a creative perspective, this is, that Gary Ross is going to be able to direct them to a great performance, and they'll really just own the role. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know, not coming from the casting world, I don't know who the other candidates might have been. There were a lot of people on the web who looked kind of like what you would think, when you read the book, how those images should look like in your head or to you. But like I said, I have to trust from an aesthetic point what the director's choice would be in terms of how they would play and their chemistry with Jennifer Lawrence, who's playing Katniss.
Right, and definitely I think, that's the big consideration. Jennifer Lawrence is Katniss, so now everyone has to really compliment her. If they picked Haley Steinfeld or somebody else, I think we'd be talking about different candidates. Personally, I was a little disappointed because I thought maybe I was in the running for one of them. But alas,
they're still cynic, Adam.
That's true, and I have been told that my likeness is most similar to his.
It's uncanny, really.
So, what about you? Since we're still on the Hob, let's go to Pauline. Maybe you want to share your thoughts on these choices. And we actually did this feature with you, and we talked about Peeta's and Gale's for so long. It was almost suffocating, but it's finally over. So how do you feel about that?
No, I think whenever you are going to cast a movie based on a book, you're not going to be able to please everybody because everyone has their own idea in their head of who these actors are. And we're not in the audition process, so we don't know who had the best performance, who had the best chemistry with Jennifer. I'll be honest, I was rooting for a little bit more. I liked Hunter Parrish and I liked Lucas Till, but I'm okay with Josh and Liam. I think that, Suzanne is, I don't know how much of a say she has, but I think that she's somewhat involved. And as long as her vision is being met and that Gary Ross, saw something in these two guys and Jen had good chemistry with them, then I think that we need to have faith and just, know that there's no one that's going to, satisfy every single person. So we just need to give them a chance and see what they can do.
Yeah. No, I think very well said.
I have a very important announcement. We are about to be joined by Kate of Hunger Games Trilogy Fansite. Hi, Kate.
Hi, how are you?
We're good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
Oh, it's damn. We were just talking, some smack about you. You just signed on. We'll have to stop.
Yeah, very bad timing.
You guys picked a great day for the podcast with the new casting news.
Absolutely. We were actually just sort of going around and sharing our opinions about Josh Hutcherson and Liam Hemsworth.
Okay.
So what do you think, Kate? Are you happy with these choices?
Well, I don't really know much about Liam. I haven't really seen him in anything before, but once I heard that Josh, I think he met with the director, or was it the producers? But once I heard that he was meeting with them, I kind of looked him up online and watched a couple interviews, and his behavior and his personality seems really similar to what I thought Peeta would be like. So I'm pretty happy with Peeta.
Great. And I think you represent a little bit more of the Peeta age crowd, right? So, the rest of us are a little older on here, varying ages. So I think for you to say that, that's a pretty strong endorsement in my book. So I feel good about things. Let's get Theresa involved here. She's been the silent member over there. Theresa, surely you must have a lot to say about this after hearing these opinions.
Oh, I'm just listening to everybody. I have to agree with everyone. I have to say though, if everybody knows us from Twitter, especially, we will fully admit that we are disappointed that Hunter is not Peeta. If you follow us at all, we love Hunter. We will admit that we were a little bit disappointed. But once we had heard the news that the leak that Liam and Hunter, or excuse me, I keep saying Hunter. That Liam and Josh were the front runners, we kind of knew that it was going to go that way. When Jennifer's leaked that way, and that came to fruition, we thought this one would too. Although we would have been welcome for a surprise, But as far as things go, it's kind of interesting that things happen this way today. Ariana couldn't be with us tonight because of her work from down at the Capitol, but she was actually doing a perfect Peeta post on Josh today. So we had been looking up information on him. Yeah, we'd been looking up information on him for a couple of days and looking at videos and all this kind of stuff. And so we've gotten to know him a little better over the past couple of days. And he's his interviews, he's well-spoken, he's charismatic. He seems really kind of sweet, and he's funny too. In some of his interviews, he's hilarious. Especially there's a Jimmy Kimmel interview. People just really need to look up because he's hilarious in that. But and he's talented. He was a producer on Detention, so we know he's got the goods to deliver, and we're confident in him now that we think he can do it and he can handle the role. Like Kate, we don't know a whole lot about Liam, so we're still not sure. We're kind of holding our judgment on him, but if Gary thinks that he can handle the role, then we'll support him 100%. So we're just happy that we're past the casting on this, and we can move on, to Haymitch and Cinna and all that. So we're happy just to get over this hump now.
No, that's wonderful. It's funny about Josh Hutcherson because, which Pauline can tell you, when Savanna and I did a feature with the Hob, and we were discussing Peeta, Josh Hutcherson, I actually brought him up without really thinking he'd be in contention because he was sort of a real dark horse at that time.
Yeah.
But I knew he had such an impressive resume of acting. We're talking about a guy here, he's been the son of two lesbians, and the kids are all right. He's been to the center of the earth. He was a kid in Little Manhattan. He's done a lot. He's really gotten around. So I think he might be able to handle himself in the arena and bake some pretty nice cakes too. So I'm feeling
cookies
feeling pretty good.
Yes, cookies too.